Good morning, guys, and welcome back. So I took this pretty ornate craft butterfly. I'll have links down below to some other butterflies that don't quite have all these cutouts in them. I think I got this one from Hobby Lobby. And I want to show you how I decoupaged this and how I was able to quickly and easily file away all of the excess paper that went around the inside of these holes here. So the first thing you want to do is take your napkin and fit it over the butterfly, and I can see that this is not large enough to cover the whole butterfly, so I'm going to have to decoupage this in a couple of separate pieces. But I'm going to take this aqua pen or a water brush, these are normally used for watercolor, and I'm just going to get rid of these hard edges because they can show up when you're doing decoupage. Since the background color already matches the color of my butterfly, I didn't have to paint this. And if you have any of those napkins that you really love the colors or the patterns of it, but you've never known what to do with it, this is a really good idea because this is meant to break up the pattern, but you can still see the colors and you can get an idea of what the pattern was like, and it adds some interest because there are all of these holes inside of the butterfly. So I'm just going to remove the top ply of this napkin, and I will lay the napkin over the butterfly, and rather than cut this up and decoupage little separate pieces all over, I'm going to use the napkin this way, just press it down, and I'm going to take napkin decoupage glue. You really want to use napkin decoupage glue because it's thin enough to go right on through the napkin, and just carefully paint the napkin over the surface. I'm just pouring a little bit of this into a cup because sometimes when you keep going in and out of the jar, I don't know if little papers or hairs or whatever, they just float into the jar and then it doesn't look good. So I just like to put a little bit of this inside a jar, and now I will decoupage this over the surface. So you do have to keep coming back to the well to get more napkin decoupage glue, and I try to start in the center and just work my way out. Now with this method you may find a few wrinkles here and there, so if you'd like you can do the iron-on method, which is where you would paint the whole butterfly first with your decoupage glue. When it dries, you would then place the napkin down, put a piece of parchment paper over it, and iron your napkin down. That ensures no wrinkles. I really wanted to get this done kind of quickly, so I just did it this way. And once I was done with the main part of the butterfly, I took another part of a napkin and just tore it away. You don't have to match it up exactly because you can't really tell that there's a specific pattern with this napkin. It's more for the colors. And I'm just going to line it up a little bit and apply this the same way to the other side. And now I'm just going around all of the edges because you want to make sure that the napkin is glued especially to these edges, and there are a lot of edges in here. So don't worry about filing these inside pieces out, because I have a tool that I use that I'm so excited I was able to use, and it's such a breeze it made me want to do more of these. But I'll show you that in a minute. So I just finished applying the decoupage glue. Now, instead of letting this dry, because I knew there were a few wrinkles in it, I did put this inside of an oven to dry, and I'll tell you how to do that. I did take my aqua brush and go inside all of those grooves in there to remove the napkin, to make it a little bit easier to file it all away when I'm done. So if you would like to put this in your oven, what I did was I placed it on a piece of parchment paper. I then set my oven to 170 degrees. So normally when you turn the oven on, at least for me, it goes right to 350. So I just turned it down to 170 degrees, and I think I set it for about 15 or 20 minutes and let it cool down in the oven, although 170 is a pretty low temperature. And what this does is not only does it help it dry faster, it also helps the wrinkles to smooth out because it is melting the decoupage glue without burning the paper. You can let this air dry too, though. And here we are about 15 or 20 minutes later. I can touch it right away. I don't even need to let it cool down, so I'm just going to take it out and get back to the next step. And here is where my cool new tool came in. So you know how I always use these nail files to file away all of these edges, and you see I've got all of these openings here, so it's going to take me quite a while and it's going to be a little bit labor intensive. Not a big deal, but I did find an easier way to do this. So I got this manicure tool about, I don't know, a few months ago. And I got it specifically to file things, these small edges, and I was using those burgundy colored discs up at the top there, and that was not good. However, and all of these pieces come with this. I know it was less than 30. Anyway, as usual, finding the right tool for the right job is the trick. So they have these little diamond drills in there, and that's what I ended up using to go around the inside of these openings here, because it's kind of a very fine edge. And these diamond bits come in different sizes with this manicure kit. So I went all around the outside of this. You can see I'm filing away some of the inside here. There were some pieces, and you can still see pieces that are left over, pieces of napkin that now that they're dried, I just want to file them away easier. I found this to be very relaxing. So that's why I didn't want to stop, and I wanted to get some more work done. Anyway, once I was all done with this, how the piece looked now, and what I'm going to do is, this is a damp lint-free cloth because there's definitely some powder on this. I could even see it flying in the air. You may want to wear a dust mask while you do this, because that drill works so well that just like when you're getting a professional manicure, some of those powders can fly up into the air. So I just wipe this down, and now our next step is to apply another layer of decoupage glue over the whole surface. And again, I use the napkin decoupage glue, and I am really focusing on these edges, because even after I finished, I noticed that a couple of the edges were coming up. The color of the napkin, that background color, blended in so well with this butterfly that I didn't notice that I did not cover the napkin completely. So I'm just going to make sure the whole butterfly is completely covered. I'm getting into those grooves and making sure those ends are securely locked down or glued down onto this butterfly, and then I'll let this dry and move on to the next step. Couple of things here. You can use any top coat on this that you like. I am using triple thick, and I was just pointing to some glitter. Now guys, you can omit the glitter if you want. That's completely up to you. I had some cranky lady leave me a message a couple of weeks ago on a project saying, I guess it's all right. And she said, but the glitter ruined it. So I don't know why those miserable people feel like they have to say anything at all. Just move along or don't do this step if you don't like it. Spreading joy everywhere, people like that. So I'm going to cover this with triple thick. Now, because the triple thick works really well as a glue, I'm going to add the glitter to this. You guys that watch me know I love my glitter, so I might go a little bit heavy. That's just me. You can go lighter. I'm adding 3 different colors here. And I'm also going to let you know, if you want this to go outside, you can do all of these steps and then add either a spar varnish, which is meant to protect from all of the weather, the sun, those UV rays, the rain, it waterproofs everything, or you can even use the Deco Art top coat spray that's meant for the same purpose. It's in a red can. Again, links for everything will be down below in my Amazon store. And I'm just going to add my glitter and let this dry. And I'll show you here how the one side looks with the top coat and the glitter on it, and then just the plain top coat, which is the triple thick. Now, if you're using this indoors, you don't really have to do anything else. I'm adding glitter to the other side now. I'll let it dry, and I'm going to take it outside into my garden to show you in a couple of different lights how this looks if you do want to hang it outside. Even though this shot is during the day, we have a waterfall on our property. So if you hear a little gurgling in the background, that's the waterfall. Now this is this butterfly under kind of a yellow LED light. I hope the hydrangea and the beauty of that hydrangea is not stealing the gorgeous color and glitter of the butterfly. Then I use the very bright flashlight on my iPhone to film a little bit of this in slow motion so that you can see the glitter on here and just how pretty this butterfly looks once you've got it all done. And you know, I just like that little bit of glitter, or a lot of glitter in my case, all over my piece. So my friends, that is my video for the week. It is about time for me to go and get my daily latte. I hope you like that new tool that I showed you. I am pretty excited to use it again in an upcoming project. And don't forget, the links are down below for most of these supplies. And I read all of your comments and love everything that you guys have to say, except for that cranky lady. That doesn't happen that often. Every once in a while you get that, but that's not a big deal. But guys, thank you for sharing my videos. Thank you for tuning in. I really mean that. I am so appreciative of every single one of your views, your comments, your likes. And I will see you next week with another video. I hope you guys are all doing well. See you then. Bye-bye.